not using it.
Now as the shade creeps over the ring, it's much more comfortable for the fighters without the brightness. It's tough on the eyes when you have all that bright sun coming on you, and the sun is just creeping down behind this beautiful stadium. It's a great venue for boxing here at the Home Depot Center. We're outdoors at the Tennis Center here in Carson, California, on a beautiful evening here in Southern California. Our principal, Stan Martinook, in the blue with the red and white trim on it. And in the black and gold, a very tough Mexican fella from Chihuahua, Brian Ramirez. We have unofficially out in front in this fight with a couple rounds going to him with the knockdown in the first round, a surprise knockdown, and the last round actually too close to call as to how the judges may have scored that.
Even though Ramirez is listed as having a small reach advantage, the way these guys are fighting stylistically, Martinook could land an uppercut and get Ramirez to walk into it based on how they end up and what position they're ending up after they punch.
Well, Martinook is undefeated, and he doesn't want to taste his first defeat, so he's got to turn it up a notch here. You know, it's funny, when you look at the two fighters, they come in the same weight and the same height, but when you look at the two of them, Martinook actually looks taller, and Ramirez therefore would look, you know, a little stockier, but he's got the 2-inch reach advantage, and he's using it right now. Martinook again settles into the kill zone, or the punch zone, whatever you want to call it, and he allows this guy to get off on the inside instead of coming in and getting out. And now Martinook has turned it up a notch in this round. He can taste what's going on. Somebody's coached him well, because Martinook, when he's tied up, walks the guy back in his heels so he can't get hurt. Martinook again in the blue with the red.
They don't look as if they are riding that fast, of course. The average speed so far is just now under 40 kilometers an hour. Some nice
decision, as long as you don't give away a lot of rounds in a row. And that's the spot he's in this fight right now.
Well, I think with a minute to go in this fourth round, that Martinook is having perhaps his best round of the fight. The last round was a little too close to call for me, but I think Martinook is much more successful. He's landing much flusher punches here. But as I say that, Ramirez comes right back. I mean, there's not a lot of difference between the two guys. Remember, Martinook was surprised with an uppercut back in the first round, and that could be the difference in the scoring of the judges' scorecard at the end, unless Martinook can reciprocate by dropping Brian Ramirez at some stage here in the last 3 rounds of this fight. 30 seconds to go in the fourth. Hard punches here by Martinook.
He's settled into a rhythm now, getting off first and starting with the jab, and not the wild right hands we were seeing earlier. So some of the jitters have gone away, and he has settled in.
He's boxing more like he did in the first round now, Dave, where he's following up, getting the jab, and it's much more successful for him. I mean, he was boxing this way until he got caught. Otherwise, he would have won the first round. But that ends the fourth round. That, to me, is a Martinook round.
You need to throw more combinations. You need to win the fucking round, okay?
Our punch count is too
okay,
low,
guys,
Stan.
2 rounds to go. Not bad. Do me a favor, though. It's getting out of hand. Let's chill, okay? Clean up both of you.
Stan.
And from that last round,
don't stay outside.
hooked by Martinook. The uppercut I talked about, there it is. Based on their styles, it will be there for them.
And this is more what I expected in that replay and why I gave that round. Right now, I still have it scored 39-37 in favor of Martinook. With 2 rounds to go, he's got to win both of these rounds, and he's going to have to win them convincingly. Because remember, we had the 10th round even. We expect the judges to be split on that, so we'll see how it goes. And Dave, you also brought up a point that I want to share with our audience, too, around the world, in that first round is a round because the guy won like 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the round. He was on his way to a 10-9 round. It was just a flash knockdown, a balance sort of thing. And all of a sudden, you score a 10-8. There would be judges that could give that a 10-9 round.
Oh, there are many judges that would. And in fact, if you go to seminar, they would tell you that you should make it a 10-9 at that point. And what some judges do is the safe thing is they just go to the 10-8. How that gets judged will also go a long way in determining how this fight ends up. Knockdown really should be worth 2 points. If you're down 10-9, you should go up 10-9. But we see it sometimes account for 3.
Meanwhile, they're hammering each other right now here with the first minute gone in round number 5. They both won it. Ramirez chin dropping down just a bit. The 5-2 fighter has 3 knockouts. Martinook only has 1 in his 8 victories, so he's not the big puncher. But when we talked to him, he was talking about, you know, sitting down more in his punches, and I think at times he's tried to do that, but it hasn't been effective because he really hasn't got him flush and hasn't been able to drop Ramirez in this fight. He's a decent boxer, but he's got to work on developing his power, and there are ways to do that in the gym.
You still can't make a guy a power puncher if he's not. But you look at his style and his frame, he should be a little better puncher than what he is showing so far.
And here he appears to be the one that's out-hustling Ramirez. He caught him with a good hook on the inside that snapped the head of Ramirez, and he walks him back. He's got that down to a T, Dave. Walking the guy back on his heels when he gets tied up so he doesn't get hit.
Got that going for him.
Yeah, he has.
And yeah, he has settled in boxing comfortably, and this is the jab that he wants to establish things with as he tries to overcome the early deficit. And not easy in a 6-round fight.
Let go of his head.
Nice combination of punches there, but no power on them at all. But that's okay. That at least will catch the eyes of the judges, but he might come up a little bit short of the scorecards when this is all over. Or it could be right now lining up for split decision if our scoring is accurate, unless he drops this guy. Because I think he's winning this round, which is going to be 1 point difference in the entire situation here. After this round is complete, the judges see it the same way we do. See, and there's a reason why I give the round just that as the bell ends the 5th round. You see Ramirez let go with his hands 4 or 5 times, almost like he had a speed bag, but no effect. The other guy goes back and nails him with 1 shot and snaps the head.
It was a dramatic shot that the judges could see, too. It was isolated.
Sepárame la concha. Último round, Michiri. Tienes que tirar ahorita con inteligencia.
I got 47 for Martinook, 48 for Ramirez. So Ramirez out in front by a point, unofficially that is. And don't forget that 3rd round when Dave and I scored it even, as we expected judges would be split on that particular round.
Touch gloves. Okay, good fight. Keep it clean. Good job.
Here's the fix.
So what?
You need it. You need it. You need it.
They both went after it in the last round. Ramirez with the short uppercut, and then here's the good left hook in the right hand by Martinook, who walks him back.
Hey. Good fight, guys. Keep it clean, all right? Here we go. Last round.
This is round 6 at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. The Colonel, Bob Sheridan, here with Dave Bontempo. Our principal, Stan Martinook. Red, blue, white trunks, and Ryan Ramirez is in the black and gold. It's been a good fight, an entertaining fight. Both guys have worked hard.
No, break.
Martinook got surprised back in the 1st round and was dropped after winning about 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the 1st round. And then it's Ramirez boxed exceptionally well in the 2nd round. The 3rd round we thought was too close to call, or maybe a split round on the judges' scorecard. And then Martinook had a very good 4th and an even better 5th round. We're in round 6. Martinook needs this desperately if he has any chance of winning the fight. And even if he wins it, it still could be a draw. But considering, as you said, David, a knockdown in a 6-round fight can be disastrous because it takes you 3 rounds to get that back. Then he lost the 2nd round on top of it. So
a draw would feel like a victory for Martinook.
And in a lot of ways it would be. It was a low blow that time by Ramirez. David Denkin right on top of it and lets him know. No voice commands by David. Those type of shots there, even though Ramirez was rolling with those punches, the judges see that and see the head spin with a glove behind it, and they're scoring that as an effective shot.
And now Martinook is controlling the tempo of the fight, where it's being fought. He's got Ramirez moving in smaller segments of that ring. And he's closed it down on him, and he's deciding the pace. He's getting off first. And that's sort of the subtle edge that he has so far in this round.
Ramirez loads up the right hand, but he has no power whatsoever right now. He has 3 knockouts in his 5 wins. But he's not displaying that now because Martinuk has really taken it away from him in the last couple of rounds, and he's taken it away from here in this round with less than a minute to go in the fight right now. See the two, again, shoe-shine punch and then a big left hook answering it back. So who wins that? Well, Martinuk wins that little mini battle because each round is a series of mini battles.
So he's comfortable being on the outside and being the guy who looks like he has the height and reach advantage instead of Ramirez, who is listed as having it. He's taking a better advantage of his boxing skills in the second half of this fight.
Ramirez really hasn't been great since the second round, and he's let Martinuk back into this fight. Seconds to go in the fight now in the 6th round, and Martinuk continues to put pressure, and they both will battle right to the bell. A nice fight, nice hard-fought battle. Martinuk wins the last round, and I've got it a draw on my score.
I think he stole at least that. Give him actually 4 of the rounds, the 6 rounds, and then you've got, of course, round 3 being in that, but then it's a matter of how the knockdown got scored. I think he stole at least a draw, maybe even gets a little better.
He could because remember, we scored the 3rd round 10-10 of the judges, or one of the judges went the other way, which we have a tendency to think they might have given it to Martinuk. Then Martinuk was going to get this, or Ramirez is going to win by 1 point. But I have it scored unofficially a draw. But then again, I have a round scored 10-10, which I know the judges won't have. No, unofficially 57-57, we'll wait. And our ring announcer, who was kind of amateurish in terms of ring announcing, is nowhere to be found. So hopefully he'll get in there and we'll get the official rendition of who won this fight.
For Ramirez, the fight seemed like it was too long after he had the early jump, and for Martinuk, it wasn't long enough. But he settled down. That was a big component for him.
Dave, we're going to show the viewers, while we wait for this ring announcer to show up, a little recap of what we saw, because it wasn't, I thought, a very entertaining prize fight.
In the beginning, Martinuk coming in and disaster with that uppercut. Final seconds of round 1. And Ramirez was good in the 2nd round as well, as he was comfortable on the outside. Then it was Martinuk getting a little bit of distance, and he started coming back by using his jab. So while all the early stuff went to Ramirez, Martinuk established some distance with his left hand and came on. So the question for the judges is, when did that change occur from Ramirez to Martinuk?
All right,
going
so
to account for the verdict.
So Vic Jacobs is with us now, and we will get the official rendition. Vic, anytime.
Let's put your hands together and show some love for the Warriors out there tonight. Tremendous 6 rounds of super featherweight action. Your judge, Fritz Warner, has voted 57-56 Ramirez. Judge Dr. James Jane Kin has ruled it 57-56 Martinuk. Judge Gwen Adair has ruled it 57-56. And still undefeated out of Russia, Martinuk, a perfect 9-0.
All right, Dave, so Martinuk eventually, one of the judges, Gwen Adair, gave him that 3rd round, and that was the difference in the scoring, so he gets the victory by a majority decision here.
Yeah, a good call. I like seeing the fact that judges were all close on it. And, you know, Martinuk had no margin for error, and he prevailed despite that predicament. So good for him to do that.
The split decision victory goes to Stan Martinook in a very entertaining fight to get this night of boxing underway here in Carson, California.
Gervonta Davis-Lamont Roach rematch, which was originally being targeted for June 21st, now has a new date, as the two will reportedly run it back on August 16th, following rumors that Davis needed more time to recover from their first fight, which ended in a controversial draw following Tank taking a knee that was wrongfully not ruled a knockdown. Another title fight that's being worked on for August is Jaron Boots Ennis' next welterweight title defense, which will be against junior welterweight champ Teofimo Lopez, who could be giving up more than 20 pounds to Ennis come fight night. Even though a fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev didn't happen due to Makhachev deciding to move up to welterweight, a fight between the two could still materialize in the future, as Topuria says he's open to fighting Makhachev at 170.
For more stories, visit us at fightsports.tv.